welcome to the deep dive. Sometimes you stumble across a resource that just clicks, something that feels essential for getting up to speed on a really complex, critical topic. And that's exactly what happened for us recently. We found something truly exceptional at the crossroads of, well, cutting-edge technology and real-world justice. We're diving into Artificial Intelligence and Counter-Terrorism for the Judiciary by AHMED ELY Mustapha today. And let me tell you, this isn't your average book. It's structured quite differently. It really feels like a guide designed to distill a huge amount of knowledge in a way that's surprisingly easy to grasp.
It really is. And our mission here today is basically to unpack the most important nuggets from this handbook for you. We want to spotlight its really innovative approach, the incredible depth of the author's expertise, and fundamentally why it's such a vital read, especially if you're a judicial practitioner, a legal professional, anyone really navigating this increasingly technological world we live in, this deep dive. Well, it's for you.
Okay, so let's start right there with the author, AHMED ELY Mustapha. When you first dig into his background, it's, wow, genuinely impressive. What makes his take on this whole subject so authoritative?
Oh, it's truly exceptional. Mustapha isn't just someone writing from an ivory tower. He's got over 26 years, think about that, 26 years of hands-on experience in judicial reform, crime control. He holds a PhD in public law. He's taught at top institutions in Tunisia. But what really blows you away is the sheer breadth of his expertise. It's so multidisciplinary. I mean, we're talking judicial ethics, forensic science, criminal psychology, and then right alongside that, cutting-edge AI, cybersecurity, even project management. He's actually a certified project management professional, an IBM IT project manager.
Wow.
Yeah, and holds advanced certifications in things like network administration and forensic tech from the International Police Organization. So this isn't just abstract knowledge. He's worked extensively globally with the UN, the EU, training judges, prosecutors, security folks, forensic experts across Africa, the Middle East, Europe, Asia. He knows how to translate these complex ideas into practical, actionable insights on the ground.
Right. So what that means for you, the listener, is that when you pick up this book, you know it's built on this bedrock of deep, practical authority. It's not just well-researched, which it clearly is, but it's informed by decades of real-world global experience.
Yeah.
That makes it incredibly credible, incredibly relevant, especially if you're in the legal field. It really does feel like getting a master class from someone who's genuinely seen it all, both in theory and in practice. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about another really fascinating aspect of the book's format. It's this interactive dialogue. What grabbed you about how he structured this? It's not typical, is it?
Not at all, and it's brilliant. It's structured as a conversation, like you said, between a professor and a disciple. And this tell me professor approach, it works so well because the disciple asks the very questions that you, as a reader or listener, are likely thinking.
Ah.
Yeah, it just cuts through all that dense legal and tech jargon. Things that could be really dry are suddenly part of this engaging back and forth. It makes it a genuine learning experience.
So it pulls you in more actively.
Exactly. The book's own prologue actually lays out why this format works, and it's quite insightful. It highlights how it simplifies complex stuff, technical terms, abstract ideas into these digestible exchanges. It mimics natural human interaction, right? Which makes you learn more actively, you feel involved, and the disciples' questions, they seem really carefully chosen to anticipate the common doubts or concerns someone from a legal or judicial background might have, so you don't feel like anything's being skipped over.
That makes sense. It anticipates the reader's perspective.
Precisely. And it humanizes topics that can feel very technical or impersonal. It weaves in real-world case studies, historical examples, analogies you can relate to. So explaining something complex, like, say, predictive policing AI or biometric systems, becomes much clearer, much more understandable.
Right.
It also actively encourages critical thinking. It prompts you, the reader, to reflect on your own viewpoint, which is absolutely vital for judges evaluating evidence. And it connects the dots really well between the theory and the practice, showing how these concepts play out in actual court cases or within international frameworks.
So it's not just theory for theory's sake.
Not at all. And crucially, it fosters judicial empowerment. It gives actionable insights in this very approachable way, equipping legal pros with the knowledge they need for complex cases. Plus, it promotes that essential ethical reflection on surveillance, privacy, bias, human rights, things central to judicial principles. It ensures it's accessible too, not just for the experts, but for judges, policymakers, students, even just interested folks. And finally, it kind of models lifelong learning, which, let's face it, is essential when technology is changing this fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really more than just a style choice. It sounds like a deliberate teaching strategy, a way to make you feel part of the discussion, turning these abstract ideas into something really meaningful and hopefully memorable. You're not just reading, you're engaging.
That's a perfect way to put it, like having a personal guide through a really complex field.
Okay, now here's where things get really interesting, I think. The book dives deep into how modern tools are reshaping the fight against terrorism. But importantly, it doesn't shy away from the challenges. It presents both sides, right? The power and the pitfalls.
It does that incredibly well. On the one hand, you see the opportunities. AI's ability to sort through massive amounts of information rapidly, spot hidden patterns, even forecast potential threats. It's quite astonishing. And the book gives concrete examples. It talks about systems monitoring encrypted comms, or AI platforms scanning social media for extremist content, like Pakistan's National Counter-Terrorism Authority, NACTA. They used AI to flag specific Pashto dialects online, which apparently led directly to disrupting a network in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa.
Wow, that's specific.
Yeah, or AI detecting suspicious financial flows. The book mentions Binance using algorithms to flag transfers potentially linked to Hezbollah.
Okay.
And you see the operational impact, too.
Yeah.
France using advanced drones in Mali for precision strikes. These tools can be effective in preventing attacks, securing borders.
But then there's the other side of the coin.
Exactly. The book is very clear-eyed about the limitations and the serious risks. It details problems like errors in identification systems, a lack of cultural sensitivity in algorithms, the issue of false positives, and it hammers home the absolute necessity of human oversight. These aren't just theoretical risks. It gives examples like the UK's MO5 mistakenly flagging a charity back in 2021 because the AI misinterpreted something, or the truly tragic case in Nigeria in 2023 where Gorgon drones apparently mistakenly targeted a wedding convoy. These have devastating human costs.
Yeah, those examples really hit home. It's not just about code.
Not at all. And another critical point raised is bias baked into the training data. It mentions a 2022 European study, for instance, showing Arabic language posts were disproportionately flagged compared to similar content in other languages. That shows how these algorithms, if we're not careful, can accidentally amplify existing societal biases. And that's a huge concern for any justice system.
Absolutely. So, I mean, all of this really throws the spotlight back onto the judiciary, doesn't it? Their role in carefully evaluating evidence that comes from these powerful but imperfect tools becomes even more critical. It reinforces those core principles of justice, accountability.
Precisely. The human element, especially the judicial element, is paramount. And that's a central theme. The ethical considerations are woven throughout. The book discusses frameworks like Europe's AI Act, international principles like the Madrid Principles, all aimed at striking that difficult balance between security and individual rights, privacy, freedom.
And how does judicial oversight fit in?
It's crucial. The book gives examples like Germany's Federal Criminal Police Office pairing AI tools with human analysts. Apparently, that reduced false alarms by 35% in 2023. Or Germany's Constitutional Court stepping in to mandate audits of predictive policing tools to ensure fairness and prevent discrimination. The courts are the backstop.
Okay, so AI assists, but doesn't replace.
That's the message, loud and clear. AI can be incredibly helpful for analyzing complex data, mountains of phone records, financial transactions, that kind of thing. But the book is emphatic. AI must never replace human judgment in the courtroom. It stresses the need for transparency, what's often called explainable AI, and detailed documentation. You need to know how the tool reached its conclusion.
Right.
And we see courts enforcing this. The book mentions cases like State v. Malik in Pakistan, where evidence got excluded because its AI origins weren't properly explained, or R v. AHMED in the UK, where evidence was rejected because the algorithm's reasoning wasn't made clear to the court.
That accountability piece is key. What about newer threats, like deepfakes?
Yeah, that's covered too, a really growing concern. The book discusses the danger of deep fakes being used for propaganda, for recruitment. It cites examples like a fake video of Benjamin Netanyahu or a fabricated speech created for al-Shabaab. Pretty scary stuff. It also touches on how detection systems work, but emphasizes the critical role of legislation like the EU's Digital Services Act and, again, careful judicial scrutiny when this kind of complex digital evidence comes up. There's an example of a UK court dismissing deepfake evidence in a case, State v. Khalid, because its authenticity couldn't be conclusively proven.
So the courts are really on the front line of verifying this new kind of evidence.
They have to be. And finally, the book looks at legislative reforms pushing for more accountability. India's National AI Security Act of 2023, for example, requires judicial review for AI tools used in terror investigations. And standards like the U.S. Department of Defense's AI ethical principles explicitly rejecting fully autonomous legal systems without meaningful human control. Courts enforce these standards by demanding transparency, audits, expert reviews.
It's clear this book covers a huge amount of ground and does it in a really accessible, practical way. Honestly, after diving into it, we really can't recommend Artificial Intelligence and Counter-Terrorism for the Judiciary by AHMED ELY Mustapha highly enough. If you're a judge, a legal professional, a policymaker, a scholar, or frankly, just anyone wanting to understand this crucial intersection of AI and justice, its value is immense. It really feels like a must-read to get properly informed on where things stand and where they might be heading.
Absolutely. It's an indispensable guide, truly. It empowers judges particularly with actionable insights. Insights they need to critically evaluate evidence from these advanced tools, to understand the potential biases lurking within, and to ensure everything aligns with ethical standards. It really underscores how essential the judiciary is in this new landscape, acting as that vital check on potential overreach, while also championing fairness.
It leaves you with a lot to think about. That final, provocative thought, maybe. As this technology keeps accelerating almost breathtakingly fast, how are we as a society going to make sure that the systems we build to protect ourselves also fiercely protect the justice and human dignity we value so much?
That's the core question, isn't it?
It really is. So once again, that's Artificial Intelligence and Counterterrorism for the Judiciary by AHMED ELY Mustapha. It's available now on Amazon Books. If this topic matters to you, do yourself a favor and dive in. You won't regret it.